How does Wi-Fi actually work? Your router is basically screaming at your phone using invisible waves. Not literally screaming, but kind of. Wi-Fi works like radio, except it's faster and angrier. Your router grabs all your internet stuff, Netflix, Instagram, whatever, and converts it into binary code, ones and zeros. Then it launches those ones and zeros into the air as electromagnetic waves. Your phone's sitting there with its antenna out like, oh cool, data, catches the waves, translates the ones and zeros back into that TikTok you've been scrolling for 40 minutes. But here's the thing, it's not one way. Your phone also shoots data back. When you tap send message or load more, your phone fires its own waves at the router. It's basically a high-speed argument happening thousands of times per second, and somehow it works. Now you're probably thinking, wait, how does my phone not accidentally connect to my neighbor's router? Good question. Channels. Your Wi-Fi operates on specific channels, like lanes on a highway. Your router picks lane 6, your neighbor picks lane 11, and you don't crash into each other. Modern Wi-Fi even has this fancy tech called beamforming. Instead of spraying signals everywhere like a garden hose, it focuses the signal directly at your device like a laser pointer. Pew, pew. More speed, less waste. Oh, and security? Your Wi-Fi is encrypted with a password. Without it, anyone trying to listen just hears digital gibberish, like trying to eavesdrop on a conversation in a language that doesn't exist. So yeah, Wi-Fi is just invisible waves carrying your memes, your emails, and your questionable 3 a.m. Google searches through the walls. But speaking of things only 10% of people do differently. Why are people left-handed? About 10% of people are left-handed, and honestly, nobody fully knows why. But we've got some clues. Your brain is split into two hemispheres, left and right. Plot twist, they control the opposite sides of your body. Left brain runs your right side, right brain runs your left side. It's like they got the wiring backwards on purpose. For most people, the left hemisphere is dominant. That's why most people are right-handed. But for lefties, the right hemisphere is calling more shots, so the left hand gets promoted to main character. That's basically it. Your brain just decided one day, you know what? Left-hand supremacy. Some scientists think genetics play a role, others think it happens randomly during development. Either way, lefties got the short end of the stick when it comes to scissors, can openers, and desks with the little arm thing on the wrong side. So if you're left-handed, congrats. Your brain's just built different. Literally, and if you think, that's weird, wait until you hear what your brain does at night. How do dreams work? Dreams are absolutely unhinged. You fall asleep thinking about your grocery list and wake up like, I just fought a dragon in my childhood backyard while my dentist gave a TED talk. What is happening? When you sleep, your body shuts down, but your brain? It goes full throttle. In fact, your brain is more active during certain sleep stages than when you're awake. Wild. During REM sleep, rapid eye movement, your brain lights up like Vegas. That's when the dreams get spicy. Your brain becomes a chaotic movie director with no budget, no script, and zero logic. It pulls up random memories, mashes them together with your fears, your hopes, that burrito you ate at lunch, and creates a simulation that makes zero sense but feels incredibly real. Why do we dream? Scientists have theories, but no definitive answer. Here are the popular ones. Memory consolidation. Your brain's organizing files like a messy computer desktop. This goes in long term. This goes in the trash. This, dragon folder? Emotional processing. Your brain's like, let's deal with that awkward thing you said 5 years ago by turning it into a nightmare where everyone's a mannequin. Survival practice. Ancient evolution stuff. Your brain rehearses threatening scenarios. Being chased, falling, showing up to school naked, just in case. Here's the kicker. During REM sleep, the logical part of your brain is offline. The part that normally says, wait, this doesn't make sense, is asleep too. So your brain just accepts everything. Flying? Sure. Breathing underwater? Why not? Your dead grandma giving you financial advice? Totally normal. Dreams are your brain's way of testing, processing, and occasionally terrorizing you with nonsense. Speaking of plastic things that make no sense. Now, you know how do credit cards work. Credit cards are basically financial witchcraft. You tap a piece of plastic and boom, You just bought a $12 smoothie with money that isn't even yours. Here's the trick. A credit card is you asking the bank, yo, can you cover this for me real quick? I'll pay you back, I promise. And the bank says sure. But if you forget, we're charging you interest and possibly repossessing your car. You're not spending your money. You're borrowing the bank's money with a pinky promise to return it later. When you swipe, tap, or insert your card, it sends your card number and a bunch of encrypted chip data to the store. The store's like, hey bank, is this person legit for $12? The bank checks your account and either says, yeah, approved, or nope, declined. Shame them in front of everyone. At the end of the month, the bank sends you a bill for all the stuff you bought with their money. Pay it in full? No problem, you're golden. Don't pay it. Now you owe interest. Interest is basically a penalty fee for being late, and it compounds. The longer you wait, the more you owe. It's a financial snowball rolling downhill, picking up speed and crushing your wallet. Some credit cards offer rewards, points, cashback, airline miles. Sounds great, right? Until you realize you paid $80 in interest fees to earn $5 in cashback. Congrats, you just bought a sandwich for $85. So yeah, credit cards are magic rectangles that let you buy now and stress later. Use them responsibly and you build credit. Use them wrong and you'll owe MasterCard your firstborn. Now let's talk about something even more terrifying than debt. What even is a black hole? Black holes are the universe's final boss. The endgame enemy, the thing that makes physicists cry. Imagine something so dense, so heavy, so ridiculously extra that not even light, the fastest thing in existence, can escape it. You point a flashlight at a black hole, that light's gone, deleted, yeeted into oblivion. Here's how they form. Take a massive star, let it live its life, burn through all its fuel, and eventually go supernova, a giant explosion. But after the fireworks, the core of the star collapses inward. And it doesn't just collapse, it implodes. It crushes itself into a point so small, it's basically zero, infinitely dense. This creates a black hole, a region of space where gravity is so intense, it warps reality itself. Black holes don't suck things in like a vacuum cleaner. That's a myth. They pull things in with gravity, just like Earth's gravity holds the moon in orbit. But a black hole's gravity is so strong it's like, hey, come here. Closer, closer. Now you're never leaving. Even light can't escape, that's why they're black. Light tries to leave, but gravity's like, nah, you're staying. And the light just doesn't make it out. At the center is the singularity, a point where all the mass is compressed into infinite density. Physics breaks here. Time stops making sense. Space bends into pretzels. Your concept of reality? Gone. Surrounding the singularity is the event horizon, the point of no return. Cross that line and you're done. No communication, no escape, just silence. Game over. Black holes are space's delete button, and they don't care about your feelings. All right, let's bring it back down to Earth, specifically your kitchen. How do microwaves actually cook food? Microwaves don't cook like an oven or a stove. They're way weirder. They shoot invisible waves, called microwaves, shocking, into your food and basically tell water molecules to freak out. Microwaves are electromagnetic waves like light or radio waves, but chunkier. And they have one target, water. Why? Because water molecules are shaped like tiny dumbbells with a positive end and a negative end. Basically, they're bipolar, emotionally unstable molecules. When microwaves hit them, these molecules start flipping back and forth millions of times per second, like they just chugged an energy drink and heard their favorite song. All that movement? Friction. And friction makes heat. That's how your food gets hot. Foods with more water, soup, vegetables, heat up fast. Foods with little water, bread, pizza crust, turn into rubber. That's why microwaved pizza crust feels like a tire. All the moisture evaporates and you're left chewing on sadness. Also, microwaves only penetrate about an inch or two into food. So that frozen burrito, the outside is molten lava, but the center is still frozen solid. You bite into it, and it's like two different meals at once. You might be wondering, why does the plate spin? Because microwaves bounce around inside the box unevenly. If your food just sat there, half would be nuclear hot and the other half would still be refrigerator cold. That spinning plate? It's saving your food from becoming a crime scene, the real MVP of your kitchen. So yeah, microwaves cook food by violently shaking water molecules with invisible radiation until they surrender. Bon appétit! And if you think microwaves are impressive, Wait until you hear about metal sky whales. How do planes stay in the air? Planes are giant metal tubes that weigh hundreds of thousands of pounds, filled with people, luggage, and those tiny bags of pretzels, and they just float. How? The answer is lift, which is a fancy word for air pushing up harder than gravity pulls down. Airplane wings are shaped specifically to create lift. The top of the wing is curved, the bottom is flat. When the plane moves forward, air flows over the wing. The air on top moves faster than the air on the bottom. Faster air using lower pressure. Slower air using higher pressure. The high pressure underneath pushes the wing up, and boom, lift. The plane gets punched upward by the air itself. But lift only works if you're moving fast. That's where the engines come in. Those giant jet turbines, basically angry vacuum cleaners, create thrust. They push the plane forward at insane speeds. The faster you go, the more air hits the wings, the more lift you generate. No speed, no lift, and boys, metal sky whale becomes metal ground pancake. Planes fly because of four forces working together. Lift pushes up, weight pulls down, thrust pushes forward, drag tries to ruin your day by slowing you down. Those little flaps on the wings, they're called ailerons, flaps and slats. During takeoff and landing, they extend and adjust to change how much lift the wings produce. The wings basically go full Transformers mode to keep the plane stable. So yeah, planes stay in the air because physics works. Engineers are geniuses. And we all just trust it. Terrifying, honestly. And finally, speaking of things that know way too much about you, how does YouTube know what you want to watch? YouTube is low-key terrifying. You watch one video about hamsters, and suddenly your homepage is like, here's 93 more hamsters. Hamsters in costumes. Also, a hamster eating a tiny burrito. How does it know? Every single thing you do on YouTube is being tracked. Every click, every pause, every time you rewind to rewatch a specific part, every video you skip, every comment you leave, YouTube is taking notes, detailed notes. It knows what you watched and for how long, what you clicked before and after, whether you liked, commented, or just bounced, what time of day you watch certain content, whether you finished the video or rage quit halfway through. It's not a website. It's a digital stalker with a spreadsheet. YouTube's goal is simple. Make you click and keep you watching. If you click but leave after 10 seconds, bad. If you watch forever but never click, also bad. But if you click and binge watch like it's 2 a.m. and you have work tomorrow, that's the sweet spot. The algorithm goes, yes, feed them more. Your homepage is built by a supercomputer on espresso shots. It mixes what you like, what people similar to you like, what's trending, and what you watched 3 years ago during a personal crisis. And yes, it remembers everything, even that one video, you know the one. YouTube also uses collaborative filtering. If 500,000 people who watched How to Tie a Tie also clicked on How to Adult, YouTube assumes they're related and recommends it to everyone. It doesn't know why you'll like it. It just knows statistically you probably will. The algorithm doesn't care what you watch. It just wants you to never stop watching. YouTube is a content black hole designed to consume your free time. And honestly, it's really good at it. And that's how everyday things work. Science, technology, and a little bit of chaos. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe for more interesting videos.